The basic premise of this series is simple. Buy something, flip it for a profit, use the profit to buy video games, rinse and repeat. And of course, along the way, we may buy a bundle of something and then trade a part of it in, keep a part of it for the collection, flip the rest and make a profit. And that's generally how it works. Now, at the moment, we are minus. My goal at the start of this was to make it to zero, or indeed a profit, by the end of the year. We are not far away from the end of the year. We need to make some money. And I know a lot of people always say, just hop on Facebook Marketplace, I'm sure you'll find something. I'm going to show you all of the deals that have popped up, all of the deals that I feel like I've made it in time to message and I've just not received a response, or the right response, or I've been left hanging, or some of them have been really, really good and I was just a little bit too late. A lot of the images that I have are people who just feel like their items are worth far more than they are. So this is a PS4 console, 160 gig according to the original post, 2 controllers, 9 games, and basically everything you see in the picture. So Spider-Man's the only game there worth money. The console itself might be a 70, 80 £80 sale on eBay, and an extra controller, providing it does it works and it doesn't have any stick drift or anything, you'd be looking at around 20 quid resale, maybe the same on trade. I can't remember what the trade price is these days, but my point is 150 quid for that is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, if you were going to buy that to keep it for yourself, you would not want to spend more than 100. This is a very recent one. Xbox One controller and games, and yeah, you've read that correctly, £180. That's how much they want for an original Xbox One. Xbox games in general, we know this, they're not really worth a lot. The most expensive game there is Forza, but even if he had 10 Forzas, it still wouldn't be 180 quid's worth. So if you're buying it to flip, you need it to be £100 cheaper, bare minimum, than what it is right now, even less. And if you want to buy it to keep it, and you want value for money, you need it to be around £90 cheaper than what it is. Mental. The reason we're on Facebook and we're not going around charity shops, for example, is because charity shops are getting even worse. I didn't think it was possible. Most of my charity shops very rarely have video games, and it's not just video games. You go in there and they have like Primark t-shirts for more secondhand, used with like bubbles on them, than what Primark actually sell them for brand new. Let me show you another deal briefly before I move on to a deal that I thought I had and then just didn't have, right? So this is a PS4 with a controller, luckily, and 12 games. Not bad, but the price is horrendous. So you have a whole stack of Call of Duties, you have Destiny 2. For everything here, my guy wants £230. Even if he said, oh, I'll knock off 100, that still isn't worth it. He is £130 overvalued, but it does come down to the platform that you're selling on. I would not expect to get as much on Vinted as I would eBay, and I wouldn't expect to get as much on Facebook as I would Vinted. When it comes to selling things on Facebook, you can absolutely get what they're worth, but you are looking for that one person in driving distance to you who is willing to pay the going rate. This had been listed for, it'd been up like an hour or something. So you've got some Xbox One games. £10 is all they've said they wanted for these games. Now, a lot of people in this situation will say £10, and then you message them and they say, which one do you want? Because they mean £10 each. So I sent out a little message and I said, hi mate, is that £10 for all or each? And he says 10 for all. So those three at the very top there, worthless, right? It's pointless even having them. You can keep them if you want. But then you've got Sniper Elite 4, GTA 5, which was an £8 trade. I knew that because I had one to trade myself. Minecraft, which I don't know how much it traded for, wouldn't have kept it. Got a Black Ops game there, which again is pretty worthless, but Forza Horizon 4 isn't worthless. That again does trade in for a little bit. I think I could have traded all of those in for around 40 to 50. For a £10 purchase, that would have been phenomenal. Now, in order to make the money back there, I probably would have sold Minecraft because I know it would have gone really quickly. Anyway, the messages go, cool, I'll take those off you then, please. If you're in at all today, I can come and collect. He said, yeah, I know now, I've got them, right? All I need to do is arrange a time, go pick them up, and job done, right? And then it just goes dead. So I said, what's the address, please? No message. So I left it an hour, and I said, I've just finished work, so I could collect them before 2:30 if you're available. Now, obviously, I'm sat there waiting for his message. I wasn't working, apart from like editing a video possibly, but I was just sat there waiting for him to get back to me. Then something really weird happens. Next day, come back to the PC, sit down, have a little look on Facebook, and I see the games again. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I noticed something. They're there for a little bit more money this time. They're now £15 instead of 10. A little bit confused by this. Maybe he thought, actually they are worth a little bit more than I I thought they were. I'm still happy to pay 15. Yes, okay, you've moved the goalpost. It's really annoying, but I will pay you 15 for these. So I sent him another message, maybe a bit pushy at this point, but you know, why ignore me, right? I see these are still listed as available. I'm happy to pay the new price, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't hear anything back. And then eventually they were taken down. I say eventually, it literally took another 2 days for them to be removed. So there it is. That was the first deal that I honestly thought I had. So another deal here on Facebook that is just way overpriced. I mean, this is ridiculously overpriced, actually. A 1TB Xbox One S with games, I imagine they probably would have taken in 180, which is crazy money. There's no way, absolutely zero chance anyone is going to have paid them anywhere near this. I think this is still available. GTA 5 is the only one with any value there at all, £8 trade at the time. So for 200 quid, there's no way I would get more than 100 for it. I don't think. So for that to be double the price on Facebook, I mean, there's no point even shooting an offer there. I mean, you need that to be around the 70 mark. If you're going to be able to flip it, if you're going to keep it for yourself, you need to be shaving 50% off that price. So crazy. And again, like I said, I think it's still there. It's not just PlayStations and Xboxes though. People do ask a lot for Switches. So this is a Nintendo Switch with Ring Fit Mario Kart as well. Excellent condition, they said, even though you can see the fingerprints from this distance. I don't know whether it's got any like scratches or anything. Fingerprints wipe off, right? So it's not the end of the world. Does say comes in box and HDMI cable also. Is 220 quid for that a bad deal? It's not horrendous if I'm honest. Now that I look at it, 220 is not horrendous. I wouldn't pay it. So you're probably looking at around 190 quid's worth of value in total. So he's 30 quid off. 250 original price. It was never going to get it. Another Switch, and I mean this one's mental, right? This one is absolutely mental. £295. I could go and get an OLED brand new for that, right? And probably with Mario Kart on top of it. So the fact that this isn't an OLED and it's just a bog standard Switch without a box for 295, no wonder whatsoever why this is still listed. And I took this screenshot 3 months ago. This is another deal I genuinely thought I had, and I sent a message about it and I just didn't hear anything back. I had this within minutes of it going up. Now I'm looking through them and I have a lot of these games myself, so keeping them for the collection wouldn't have been a thing. And with 360 games, there is a very strong chance that a lot of them would have been scratched beyond like tradability, if you will, so they weren't going to be trade worthy as far as CEX were concerned. But I could always keep them and bundle them with a console that I will inevitably get at some point in the future. So it's not the end of the world. And for £10 for all of these games, that's actually a really good deal. Now Farming Sim 15 is worth about a £10 trade, which in itself, okay, it doesn't actually make the money back for me because, you know, we're getting it back in credit, but that is worth it in itself. Decent titles all in all. So, sent a message, hi, could I come and collect these today? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Read it? Nothing. And yet another deal where someone thinks they have a gold-plated PlayStation. Now, it's an original PlayStation yet again. I think this is the Berry Blue controller because I have it myself, which is actually a pretty desirable controller providing it's working and it's genuine. There's a lot of decent games here, so you do have your FIFAs and you do have your Call of Duties and your Destinies, but there's a Crash game. There is Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which I believe comes in a slipcover. Believe it or not, Rory McIlroy PGA Tour still has value, even though it is a very old game at this point. With that being said, again, someone else who just, you know, they want to get as close to what they originally paid for this, which is just not going to happen. And of course, there are a whole plethora of deals out there that are just way over the mark. This is a fairly recent one here. Xbox games, it's listed as 50 quid. I don't think that there's any value there at all, really. I mean, if you're buying them to keep them, possibly. I haven't looked up the prices, but you've got Spyro, the Arkham collection. I don't know how much that is, but I want to say that that does have some value. So it's not actually listed on the CEX website, and I wondered why I didn't know the price of it, because the CEX website is basically my Bible, but it's not there, so I didn't know. But looking on eBay, you can get this brand new and sealed for about 20 quid. So it's not as much as I thought it was going to be in terms of like a second-hand price. But to be fair, it does have a little bit of value to it. Incidentally, Red Dead 2 could be the savior here, right? So the game itself is £15 in CEX. So if you were to put them both together, you might be looking at around 30 to 35. Then all of a sudden you're thinking, well, 50 quid, you know, that's a 35 pound game in a way, because of the tin. You've got Arkham collection, which is worth at least a tenner. So that's like £40. So we need to make a tenner from the rest of these games. Now, Fallout 4, we can disregard that. We know that. You've got Jedi Fallen Order, which unfortunately is only a £5 game in CEX. As mentioned, the Gears Ultimate Edition is in fact £3 in CEX. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is far more valuable than I thought it was. So in CEX, this is £15. And not too dissimilar on eBay either, to be honest. About $13.50 is the cheapest you can get it for on eBay. So you've got another 10 quid there. So there's your money back. So all of your profit, if you're going to buy this to flip, is going to lie with Spyro. So Spyro is £15 in CEX. It's closer to a tenner on eBay. So if I was to pay £50 for this lot here, I would definitely be looking at a little bit of profit. Now, I wouldn't be looking at a lot. I think I might achieve £15 profit with Spyro, Jedi Fallen Order, Gears and Fallout. I'd have to bundle Gears, Fallout and Jedi, I think, all together, and then maybe try and sell that for like between 5 and 8. I could sell Spyro for anywhere between 10 and 15, and then yeah, you're looking at around that sort of £15 profit, providing I can get the values I've set on the other games. No one's going to turn their nose up at £20-25 profit. That would put us in a really good position before the end of the year if I could do that. So now I'm actually tempted to send them an offer, even though this has been there for weeks. I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Another one of the reasons why I haven't made a video up until now showing me going out and finding something to flip is it's Christmas. So everywhere is super, super busy. If I don't get into town for bang on 9 o'clock and I go there for 9:30, I'm in a sea of people. I can't move in the shops, I can barely film anything, so it's not going to be a desirable watch. It's just not something that I really want to do. As soon as we hit that, January 1st, January 2nd kind of time period, everything dies down. People stay in, they've got no money left, they don't go anywhere, town is dead for the best part of 8 months, and that's when I can go back out into the wild and start looking for things. There's going to be less competition first and foremost, and there's going to be less people around, so filming will be a lot easier. The other thing, of course, is money in general. Now, when other people run these type of series, they have a cash balance in the series that they don't touch. They make a profit. Some of them have it in cash and they keep it to the side and they never spend it because it's series money. Other people will have it in their mind and they'll keep it in their bank or whatever. We don't have a cash balance necessarily. I mean, at the moment we're minus, right? I've spent money we don't have. So it's very tight Christmas time when it comes to money. So I can't just afford to go and drop 50, 100, 150 trying to flip something for a £10 profit where I would normally do that. And I would normally run the risk because it's, March and I don't need money for anything. At the moment it's Christmas and things are very tight. So I'm having to be very picky and choosy with what I buy to try and flip. This, for example, is something that I would normally just go for. But unfortunately, it's not something that I think I'm going to go for at this present time. With that being said though, I do still want to try and get this series back up to 0 before the end of 2023. I don't have a long time to do that. I've got about 10 days. So in the next episode, which will hopefully be before the end of 2023, I can maybe try and get that balance back up to 0. But at the moment, I just wanted to show you and give you a quick update. I'm not giving up on the series. It's just that this time of year is very difficult in terms of cash. If you've managed to pick up anything decent on Facebook lately, or you've actually managed to do the unthinkable and find a deal in a charity shop, let me know what it is in the comments. If you want to watch another video from me where I do pick up some games, you can click here. And until the next time, goodbye.